and welcome to another episode of What's the Crack? And it's a very good welcome to the man who puts lipstick on his forehead so that he can make up his mind. It's my mate Deano. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Now, today's episode is going to be solely focused on something which we think our viewers are going to get a lot of joy from, save them a lot of money. And that's actually buying things directly from Japan by proxy. And what we mean by that is there's a lot of things in Japan that you cannot buy because you don't live there. The sites aren't open to you, and obviously they're in Japanese as well. But there is a fully legit site that you can go to, and they will basically buy those things and do all those things for you. And we're going to look at it today. We will say we're not affiliated with it in any way. You have used it. I'm going to use it, and it's tried and tested, but we're not endorsed by them. We're not promoting them. We're just showing our viewers just for information's sake.
Yep. My disclaimer is this was my experience.
Yes.
I will not be held responsible if your experience is not as good as mine.
So the company that we're going to look at is called Sendico, as you can see over there. And it's, as I say, it's what you call like a proxy. It's like trying to get someone in Japan to buy for you, to give you access to all of those markets. How did you come about that, Dina?
Yeah, so that's exactly it. As I've told you before, I'm a bit of a gamer, a retro gamer, and where you would get all of that from is Japan. So I follow a lot of guys on YouTube, and one of the guys in particular, just swears by Sendico, has done videos and has actually gone there. He's actually, as part of his being sponsored by him, the videos are sponsored, but he's actually gone over to Japan, visited the warehouse, met the people that run it and everything. So that was a good sell for me. It still took me a year after seeing that of convincing myself that it was all legit and safe to do. But that's where I came up with it in the first place. And I've sort of bounced around until now to use it.
Yeah. Now, we were discussing this yesterday because you said you wanted to talk about this. So I had a really good look. And I say the watches you can get, they've got Tags, Omega, Seiko, Breitlings, Swatch, Pop Swatch. And every watch I saw was about 40% less than what we're paying over here in Australia, which was absolutely amazing. So we're going to talk through the process of how to actually do it. We'll put all the information up on the screen here. If you want to follow along, we'll slow down a little bit so you can kind of copy us. But there are some caveats that you have to do, but we'll go through all of those. And like I say, people can make up their own minds accordingly. So the first thing you do, obviously, is go to Sendico, as you can see here. And it will pop up, as you see, with all the different boxes. There you can buy clothing, watches, toys, video games and everything like that. But we're going to look at watches today. So we will click on watches here. And then if you actually want to dip your toe in, you should be setting up an account. And that was a simple process. Put a password in, set up an account. You're not committing to anything and all the rest of it. Once you've set up the account, and correct me if I'm wrong at any time here, Dina, because like I say, I did all this yesterday.
No.
Fairly new in my mind. The next thing you have to do search your watches. So say I went in yesterday and I searched and I saw a Casio manga. It was a little bit more than retail, but it was there. But I saw some swatches for 30, 40 Australian dollars, which is dirt cheap. And a couple of pop swatches for the same price. And I've just paid over 100 for one from America. So, like I said, this was fantastic for me. But you need to have some money in your account because you're bidding. Is that correct?
Yeah, look, exactly what you said. You set up an account and load up that account. Yeah. And all the options are there. It shows you how to transfer in credit card. I use the Wise account. Yes. So if you've got that, I find that the easiest way to do it.
Yep.
It's the cheapest way to do it, the lowest sort of fees as opposed to transfer in. And just make sure you have money in the account. So when you go in to look at a watch, if it's a buy it now, that button will light up if you've got enough money in your account to buy it. If it's an auction, it will only let you bid if you've got enough money to bid.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah. And we were just doing this a moment ago, and as we said, the buy it now, some of the buy, we saw that a couple of those tags there, and you know, $370 for a tag. Now, yes, you check the condition and it says there are ratings there and everything like that. But if you wanted to own a tag for $400 Australian, which is, $300 US, you got a bargain. And they're working, as I say, you actually did it. You've got the watch there, is that correct? You've got the watch that you bought?
Yeah. I mean, look, honestly, you can get new down to, this one in particular is a 2001, I think, Tag Professional.
Yeah. Like
the condition is superb. It's in great nick. They look after their watches over there.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons why they've got such a good second-hand market. As I was saying to you before, this one in particular came with the boxes, all the boxes. So the exterior sleeve with the codes on it, the internal box, the next internal box, the hang tag that was going to be on the watch, and the warranty card that was it was bought in duty-free in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, the watch is it's immaculate. It's in such good condition.
I saw that watch and I couldn't believe it wasn't brand new. I couldn't believe it wasn't brand new. And in Australia, you said you saw a few prices for that around the $800 mark.
Yeah, so I guess how this one came about was eBay had offered a bit of a deal on Japanese sellers, 20% off on Japanese sellers, which of course I've got several watches lined up in there through Japanese sellers, so I'm in to have a look. And this watch I found in there, and with the 20% off, excluding postage, was about $720, $750.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a good deal. Before I purchased it, I thought, why not go back again for the umpteenth time and have a look at Sendico? And this time I searched for that exact watch, found so many options. Now, the one on eBay wasn't coming with anything, it's just the watch.
Yeah.
This one here I found for, I think it came in at about $490 Australian, and then about another 30 or maybe about 500, and then another 30 or so on the postage. Just a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It was just getting the confidence to actually use the website.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I've said to you before was I couldn't convince myself that someone could do it for so cheap for what they were doing, the service that they were doing. And in the end, when I went through it and they rationalised it, took a punt, got it, brilliant outcome.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I can't believe some of the prices when I was looking at it. We'll come back to that in a moment about the postage, etc., because there are some ways you can save money. But basically, you put the money in the account, like we said, which then gives you the option to... and what would you say? Is 50-50 buy now and auction, or is it more towards buy now or more towards auction?
Well, so you'll have a look on the website there, and it has different platforms for you to use. The one that I used is that Macquarie, I'm probably mispronouncing, and Liam the accent.
Yeah.
But that one seems to me to be fully buy now. Yeah. They do have the Yahoo auctions in there.
Yeah.
Obviously an auction.
Yeah.
And as I've said to you before, I did try the auctions, gave up on that because I found that they were they would finish at about midnight. They all seemed to finish about midnight Australian time, and I was constantly sniped and beaten. So I gave up on that. That broke my heart. I quit. Came back about 4 months later for this one. So buy now, but the buy now prices were superb. So
for all our UK viewers, you're sweet, because most of those auctions are going to close at either 3 PM or midday, depending if it's winter or whatever time. Exactly. So you'll find it be daytime, and the American viewers in the morning. So you're absolutely sweet on that one. With that, and as you said, Sendico have, so basically they're bringing all these marketplaces together, because I saw Amazon Japan on there. I saw J Direct, which is Japanese Direct. So basically they put them all onto this one portal. You go, they act as the middleman, so you don't have to go through those portals then, and then they get it shipped to them. So once you've set it all up, you've looked, you want to watch. Click search, put in whatever, put in Amiga, put in Breitling, I tested it yesterday, I put in Seiko. There was some grand Seikos in there. There were some fantastic watches, Casios, everything really, and the prices were fantastic. So you find your watch, You can then check whether there's a rating system as well. It tells you whether it's damaged or new, or as new or whatever. There's something in there. It gives you all of the information for you to make a decision on that, and then you buy it. Now, of course, if you buy it, you have to pay postage. But what you can do, and you were telling me this, they'll actually store it for you for how many days?
Yeah, so they provide the service. Their service is basically, once you purchase, they will do all the negotiations.
Yes.
So they go and speak to the seller, obviously in their language, have it shipped to them. They'll hold it for up to 180 days.
Yes.
And that's all part of the service. There's
So
no
you
extra
combine
charge on
another
that.
things, and then they'll combine the postage.
That's it. Yeah. And so look, I find in my situation, even with the postage, I was saving several hundred. So no problem. Got the watch sent to them, got the watch sent to me. What I see a lot with, especially the gaming guys that use the service, they're purchasing games. So maybe the game's only $5.
Yeah.
And then the postage might be, $30. So you don't want to spend that. But what they'll do is they'll purchase several over months. And once they've got a big enough package, they'll do the consolidation, package that up, and one hit is maybe $40 delivery instead of $30 delivery on each one.
Which saves you a lot more money.
Really good way to do it.
And they offer, and that's called parcel consolidation, I believe.
Yeah.
So the parcel consolidation is actually free of charge, I do believe.
It's just what they do. Yeah, that's it. Like, that's part of the service. It's a big selling point for them to say, look, we'll hold on to these items for you. When you're ready to go, tell us. We'll put them all together, price it up, get it sent to you.
That's fantastic. And then they offer a few other services as well, and I mean, really dirt cheap. They do protective packaging, which was 500 yen, $5 Australian, £2.50 UK, $3 US. They do vacuum packs and that was a little bit more. That was $20 for vacuum packaging. So if you've got something really precious and you want to keep it, they will really package that well so it's not going to get damaged. They did stretch packaging, and they do content checks. So they'll actually check the package before they send it to you, and that's important. Tell me why.
That's the big one. That's the one that, look, for me, as I say, one experience. When I was purchasing the watch, look, as a lot of people would say, that's not an expensive watch, and it isn't. It's $500.
Yeah.
But for me, still putting out $500, I want to make sure that I'm not getting ripped off. So the service that they'll provide, so the cost for them negotiating and getting the watch sent to them is 500 yen, so $5, which is why I couldn't convince myself that someone would do it for such a little amount.
Yeah.
But they get the watch sent to them. Now, you can then choose to have content checks, which is basically, now they're not doing anything other than they'll open up the package and make sure that what's in the package matches what the ad shows.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they took like 15 high-res photos for me, and immediately, I think it was within the hour of the package arriving with them, I had about 15 photos, which I forwarded to you.
Yeah.
It's really good photos of the watch. They took photos of the watch, of the packaging, of everything.
Yeah.
And I also asked them to check to see that the watch was working. Just that it's tick.
And they said to you then, do you want to go ahead? Is that correct?
So that's it. So they just said, here's your photos. Are you happy? I come back, say yes. And then within a couple of hours, they had put the postage options towards for me. So I picked out one of those. And as I said to you, I wasn't sure, because when they showed me the courier, this was the one thing, when they listed the couriers, they said price was not available. So I didn't know how much the courier would be. So I chose Japan Air. The next day, they contacted me to say DHL was actually cheaper than Japan Air. If I wanted to change, I could change it over to the cheaper option or leave it as is. So I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah. From what I can see, they really look after the customer and they want to get repeat business, which is probably their business model. It's about volume and keeping people happy. And as I say, for me, it's like a Pandora's box. It really is. I was on there and I go, I could buy. So I am going to dip my toe in the water and see how it goes, because these prices, I'm almost getting 2 or 3 for the price of 1 on what I pay in the markets over here, which is fantastic. I would imagine that most of our viewers are there going, oh yeah, but I'm a bit cautious. I've been burnt before, etc. You've been fine. You've used them. There's been no issues. If you put the money into the account and you don't buy, you can then get that money back.
Yeah, no, I did that.
Yes, you did. You did that as well.
I come with the options as like I want my money back, so I just went in, moved it back over.
Yeah,
I think there's a small transfer fee or whatever, but that's normal with anything, the transfer in and out of things. But
and what you
very negligible and money back.
Yeah, I mean, you have used this service. You found it to be much cheaper, reliable. And the good thing you get, and you said this to me, you get that Japanese efficiency, you get that reliability, and the renowned customer service, which is second to none, really. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I think, saying it, I might have had a few beers when I was buying the watch, and it gave me the courage to finally actually pull the trigger. And I did have beer. It was a Saturday night. It was probably about 10 or 11 on a Saturday night. So you do what you want from that. So in saying that, I think it was like 10 days from when I pulled the trigger. That means it's a Sunday. No one's posting anything on a Sunday. But they had it, I think, by the Wednesday in their warehouse. On the Wednesday, they'd given me the photos.
Yep.
We had agreed to get it sent. And I think by the following Tuesday, I had it in my hands. Wow. So, spectacular.
What we are saying to everyone is, everyone's got their own story. We're just presenting the information to you. You've used it. I'm going to use it. I will report back because I'm going to buy a couple of watches. I'll report back. But it's just for there to show our viewers something to consider. If you want to save some money, you want to get a quality watch. In Japan, they tend to be, as we said, really looked after. And you get a quality product. Look at the photos, though. Do your research. But it's just something that, it may open a fantastic door for you. And then suddenly you're contacting us going, wow, that's the best thing ever since sliced bread. And, I will also say, if you should spend $400 on a, Rolex Perpetual, really you should know your stuff. And if you do, on this video, his name is my mate Deano and my name is my mate Deano, so please in the comments address them to him. But,
let me know where you got it. I want one as well.
That's fantastic. That's really all we wanted to do today. I cannot believe we've done an episode of this without mentioning the word Timex. Oops, damn it. But anyway, sorry Blake, we did it again. We'll be back next week at our covering watches like we normally do. Lots to bring. I've had my emails been full of watches again, so we'll bring you a lot more next week. But until then, Deano, it's thank you so much again, mate, and thanks for sharing that today, because I found it absolutely fascinating. And we'll see you next week.
Yeah, see you then. Yeah, that was good fun.
Till the next time. Bye bye.